welcome to Horror Culture Shiver, the show that discusses all of the masterpieces and trashterpieces of genre cinema. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
We have returned to our niche.
Yeah.
Something we started last year, I think it was. We are returning to Titanic exploitation.
Yeah, is that our niche?
Well, I mean, it was for a while, and it's back again. Apparently, this isn't even the last of these films.
I think there's a lot of...
I can't believe this.
Yeah.
This is ridiculous. This is by far the worst one. Take from that what you will. I mean, considering one of them had fucking singing animals, and the other was literally called Titanic 2, and about a ship called Titanic 2 setting sail. There's very much a sequel to that.
Is it meant to be?
I'd like to think it would be. It'd be very satisfying.
I feel as though, like, there's no mention of a Titanic 2.
No.
But the ship in question in this film is called Titanic 3.
That it is.
So there must have been a Titanic 2 at some point, but it's never referred to.
Both released by the Asylum.
There we go then, so that makes sense.
So, and I'm pretty certain some of the shots used in this are taken from that film.
Potentially.
Titanic 2 is a better film, but today we are talking about...
Okay, let's not
I mean, it's still terrible, but it's entertaining.
Marginally better.
Way more entertaining.
But more entertaining, yes.
Today we are talking about Titanic 666. Also known as Titanic 3, and in the UK, Titanic Rises. Released last year.
Yes.
2022.
2022.
And we're still making these films.
In 2022.
2022. To capitalise on...
the 110th anniversary of the sinking of the Titanic.
Go.
Where, you know, over 1,000 people died.
1,500 people apparently.
1,500, yes. So 1,500 people died.
Yeah, and...
Okay, I just need to put something out there. And this is personal between me and Gary. We've been together over 6 years now as a couple.
Mm-hmm.
We have never once sat down and watched James Cameron's Titanic.
We have not.
What we have watched is Titanic 2, Titanic 666, and Titanic... The legend goes on. The animated shittery goes on. Are we ever going to sit down and actually watch James Cameron's Titanic?
I mean, who needs James Cameron's Titanic when you've got singing animals and you have ghosts haunting a new version of the Titanic? I've got my entertainment sorted.
Right. That says more about you than it does the films.
We will watch Titanic eventually. It's one of those films though, where you've seen so many clips of it. I mean, pretty much seen the whole film.
Are you speaking specifically of the YouTube video where they incorporate Jane McDonald on the Titanic?
I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the entire film in that 5-minute video. If you haven't seen it, go and watch it. So, Titanic 666, the legend continues. Pig in the City, Titanic Strikes Back. Directed by Nick Lyon. He made Isle of the Dead. They Found Hal. So did we when we watched this film.
I Love the Dead.
Oh, I Love the Dead.
No, what's it called?
I Love the Dead.
I Love the Dead.
Isle of the Dead.
I see. Okay.
Bullet. The Steve McQueen.
Liza Minnelli. Lies.
On Fire. I'll Be Home for Christmas. Now, I spell AISLE.
Oh, nice.
Loves his clever titles. English
so
Estate.
What does that entail?
I assume it's
home for Christmas.
I assume it's about a wedding at Christmas. English Estate, The Surprise Visit, Christmas in Vienna, The Boy, the Dog and the Clown, and more.
Two execs finally reconnect when a snowstorm leaves them stranded in a superstore without cell service or Wi-Fi just before Christmas.
That's The Boy, the Dog and the Clown.
I'll be home for Christmas.
Oh, so it's not wedding aisle, it's a shopping aisle.
Supermarket aisle.
Supermarket suite at Christmas. Wow. Written by Jacob Cooney, who also wrote I'll Be Home for Christmas. Merry Xmas, spelled EX-mus.
Right, yeah, that makes sense.
Love Om Zion National and National Park Romance.
Oh, lovely.
To
I
Zion.
like
That's
that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Junkyard Dogs, Tales from the Other Side, Flight 666.
Oh no.
The Fast and the Fierce.
Yes.
And more. And believe it or not, written by two people, by Jason White. No, not the guitarist from Green Day. Jason White, the writer who wrote Scarecrow, The Ghosts of Leap Castle, South of Sanity, and Secrets by the Shore.
Right, okay.
Don't know how much this film made, but somehow this must have had some sort of limited release because it made $214,456.
Oh.
At the box office.
They've made that up.
They must have made it up.
That's not... Surely that's not true. This would never have been released in a cinema. Surely. I thought it was a Tubi original.
I mean...
Is it not a Tubi original?
It is a Tubi original.
To be or not to be, that's the question.
They must have pulled some strings. Who knows? Who knows? Oh, well, should we talk about who lost their minds and agreed to be in this piece of shit?
Yes, in a section we like to call, hey, I kind of know you, maybe, unlikely.
Well, I don't think we know Keisha Sharp. I wish we did, because, she's probably the best actress. I feel so sorry for Keisha Sharp. She really tries her best here. Almost to the point of a good performance. Like, she's really trying.
It's almost there. It's really...
She's taking it so seriously.
The material isn't good. And the performance is really trying. But there are real... And obviously, we'll talk about them.
She serves in a white pantsuit, a captain pantsuit, the entire time.
It's a uniform.
Captain Celeste Rhodes, who was in Lethal Weapon TV show, Girlfriends, Power Book 2, Ghost, Are We There Yet? The TV show. And why the fuck did Are We There Yet need a TV show? Like the throwaway film with Ice Cube. Like seriously. Empire, Killer Couch. Do you remember that one?
Oh, she didn't Killer Couch.
Oh, Killer Coach. Killer Coach.
Oh, you
sorry.
idiot.
Killer Coach. No, that was called Killer Sofa anyway. Instant Mum and more.
Yeah, probably most famous for Girlfriends.
Yeah.
A show that I kind of watched a little bit back in the day with Tracy Ellis Ross.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she again, poor Keisha, she's trying her best.
Yeah.
With the material. Yeah, let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. Jamie Bamber, who is not Irish, just get that out there right now, plays Professor Hal Cochrane. Now, I really hope that's a reference to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. Who knows? He was in Battlestar Galactica, Law and Order UK, The Lair, Marcella, Strike Back, The Car, Road to Revenge. That is a sequel to the Kyle and Kim.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, fabulous.
A Christmas in New York.
Ooh.
Cannes Confidential.
Ooh.
And more.
Is in Pulse 2?
He is in Pulse 2. Let's make it clear that the American Pulse 2.
Oh, okay.
I don't think there is a Japanese Pulse 2, but...
Oh, yeah, I see.
He is in Pulse 2. He does one of the worst Irish
Pulse
accents.
3? Oh, wow.
Yeah, he made it to the third film.
Do you know what's great about Letterboxd?
What?
Is that I click on these random awful films that
and
pop
see
up,
that I've watched them.
and I see someone's face pop up just underneath the watched by, and realise that Gary Cruz really...
Yeah, well...
loved watching Pulse 2 and 3. He loved Pulse 2 so much that he had to watch Pulse 3.
Well, horror fan in the 2000s, limited resources. It was a tough time. Yeah, his Irish accent is alarming.
Ooh, it's... Yeah, I will, as we go through the film, I will pinpoint exactly the moment Gary had to tell me that it was an Irish accent I was hearing.
Lydia Hurst plays Idina Bess.
Idina Bess.
She was in The Suicide Squad, somehow.
Which one?
The good one.
Oh.
Condemned.
No, she wasn't.
She was.
Oh, not according to Letterboxd.
Oh, well, according to IMDb, she was.
Oh, maybe she got a thank or a thank you or something.
She was in Condemned, The Haunting of Sharon Tate.
Oh dear.
Between Worlds, Z Nation, Cabin Fever 3, Slayers, #horror, and more.
Oh dear.
Well, at least she brings a bit of camp value to the film.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, she clearly learnt a lot from Psycho Sister-in-Law and #horror, Cabin Fever, Patient Zero, Eileen Warnes, American Boogie Woman. Yeah, not great.
Anna Lynn.
Oh wow! Just looking at Eileen Warnes, American Boogie Woman.
Yeah.
The poster. Literally, after watching Monster with Charlize Theron when she underwent a lot of makeup and to make her look a certain way, they just haven't tried with this one.
No,
I mean she looks straight from an episode of Euphoria.
Yeah,
it's okay. That's actually kind of really inappropriate. Yeah. It literally one of the reviews is the yesification of Eileen Warnes. Oh dear. Future podcast episode, potentially?
I think there's a whole heap of those to be done. Maybe a whole month. Who knows? Anna Lynn McCord is our Janet Leigh of the piece as Mia Stone.
Yes.
She was in Excision, Scorned, Fired Up, Transporter 2, Ugly Betty, King Knight, Day of the Dead remake, Dancing Through Christmas, Feliz Navidad. And I shout dad because it's dad in capital letters.
I see, yes.
And more.
She was in Santa's Little Helper.
Yeah.
Which is the film starring The Miz from WWE and Paige from WWE when she was in WWE.
So that's going to be your Christmas choice this year?
It might be my Christmas choice this year. It's got a stellar 2.5 on Letterboxd and looks... Yeah, it looks bad. It does look very bad.
That does not surprise me. And finally, we have Joseph Gatt as Brian Andrews, and he was in Game of Thrones, Star Trek Into Darkness, Dumbo 4, the Pulse remake. Oh, there we go. That's how we found the other one. The Retaliators, Black Adam from Dusk Till Dawn TV series, and more. Big names.
Yeah.
Then you found this?
Oh, he's in Pulse 1.
He was in Pulse 1,
He was. My question is, why does he look like he's played Jason Voorhees?
Because he looks like Derek Mears.
But he has. There we go. Voorhees. Thank you. For the whole thing, I
kept thinking it was him.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. Then.
Okay,
yes.
let's get into it. Let's set aboard the Titanic and discuss our feature presentation. Sorry, Titanic 3.
Oh my God! Look at this ship.
It's the time of your life.
Okay, it's gonna be the time of my life. Ah!
We have cosplayers, mediums, relatives, and as you know, priceless relics from the original Titanic disaster. Full throttle.
Full throttle.
To the best crew on the Atlantic. We are in open water.
What is she doing?
I call on you, you spirits, rise!
How long has this been happening?
You are on hallowed water, and you have desecrated it.
We start with the sinking of the Titanic.
Oh, yeah. We open with an oddly familiar recreation of the sinking of the Titanic.
I gasped out loud. I could not believe. Out of all the other ones, they always leave this to the end, but to open with this, like, come on.
It's like a really cheap
remake
version of James Cameron's Titanic.
Yeah, like we get
literally straight away. It was literally like boom
the moment it starts. Yeah, we get opera music, we get fireworks, and dare I say, the asylum budget may have gone up a little bit.
Oh, stop! Stop!
Slightly,
I'm not
very
as familiar
slightly.
with Asylum as maybe you are.
Snakes on a Train.
Yes, that. Yeah, but that was what 10 years removed.
Titanic 2.
It should have. That's 10 years as well.
Yeah.
It's still shoddy, but maybe
it's shit.
A little better than what we're used to.
Slightly better.
Question: why is the music so upbeat and like rousing? Like, what are they? Was this them trying to do the people playing as the Titanic sank?
Yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
Uh-huh. Well, that's what he kept making a point of it throughout the whole film.
Yeah, no. It was the actual tune there. Because I was sat there and I was like, this is really inappropriate. Why is the music
The fact that it is
so,
the actual tune is really inappropriate.
like, rousing. It might
The
be,
whole
it might
thing
not.
is
I'm not sure. But yeah. We have somewhat, instead of Rose, we have
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. And Elizabeth, she's on a piece of wood calling for Charles. Charles and Elizabeth. Charles seemingly drowns, leaving only a bowler hat.
Yeah, it's not what you think. It's
they're both posh.
This isn't going where you think it's going.
And Elizabeth reaches for the hat and then gets dragged into the water.
Yeah, that's
by something.
Yeah, this makes no sense.
This makes
by the
no
way,
sense
because
whatsoever.
These are the no, these aren't even the ghosts who haunt the fucking shit.
The Elizabeth
These
and
are just
Charles
random
have
people.
fuck all. Lizzie and Charlie have absolutely fuck all to do with what happens for the remainder of the film. Elizabeth is seemingly drowned by a ghost or some sort of entity.
Yeah.
But the ghosts don't appear until 2022.
And they're the ghosts of the people who died
exactly
on the Titanic.
Yeah, and
there wasn't another Titanic before. There wasn't Titanic Zero.
No.
This was the Titanic.
This was the Titanic. Yeah.
I mean, unless this is meant to be a recreation of Titanic 2, which I highly doubt. This is definitely meant to be the original.
No, he's wearing a fucking bowler hat, for fuck's
True.
sake.
We get a news report after the opening credits. We get a news report with the same shitty CGI ship from Titanic 2. And the newsreader says, 110 years after the launch of the original, Titanic 3 will set sail on the same path as its namesake. Along the way, it will stop off at the site of the original disaster, which caused the death of over 1,500 people.
I know, you're just so upbeat about it. And literally everything from this bird's eye view is CGI. From the boat to the random helicopter.
This is exactly what Titanic 2 looked like.
It was,
I swear it's the same shot.
It might be.
We're then introduced to social influencer couple, Mia and Jackson Stone. As they pull up, Mia's like, Sylvia's messing up all the messages. It's exploitative. Wait, are you filming? Oh my god, look at the ship!
Now, this, I feel, is the moment that sold it to Gary.
It was.
For it to be a podcast episode.
They use this in, as you'd have heard, they use this in the fucking trailer.
They do. Oh my god, look at that ship. Oh my god, look at her butt. Yeah. Right before she does this, she realizes she's being filmed.
Yeah.
Doesn't she?
Yeah.
And she's saying it's exploitative to have the Titanic 3. It's exploiting people's deaths. And it's a big thing for the film. So if there's any sort of thing, a theme or anything to take from this film, it's the idea that exploiting the death of the people who died when the Titanic sank is a terrible thing, and you need to be punished by their ghosts. Okay?
Yeah.
That's the big theme. Okay? But it's so confusing because the film itself is technically doing what it's...
Yeah. It's either self-aware humor or the filmmakers are incredibly stupid.
Yeah.
It's one of the two.
But it's a real mixed bag because obviously Mia and Jackson are influencers.
Yeah.
And it comes up, and they're filming everything for their content, which is how they get paid, and how they're apparently millionaires in cheap suits and dresses. But yeah, it'll come up a lot.
Yeah.
Throughout the film.
The moment they step out of the car, they're recognised by Nancy, their number one fan, and supposedly other people as well that you can't actually see. It's just a lot of hands, really. You can't. No one else is really clear.
No.
And they're like, oh my god, we're so excited. Whoa, let's get on the ship. Brian, a Navy SEAL, is introduced by Captain Celeste Rhodes.
I thought he was like security.
So,
is that what he is?
Yeah, he's there to look after the safety of everyone on board.
I see.
But it's never explained why. As the rest of the staff point out, they have their own security already. And they're nervous at the fact that he's there. And it's kind of like, I mean, yeah, they're absolutely right. Why is he there? Because
it's a little strange.
This isn't even a plot point later on. I mean, there's a twist about him, but it doesn't explain why Captain Rhodes has hired him.
As Captain Rhodes
She specifically hired him. She said,
Oh.
I have brought this man on board as extra security.
Oh.
But it doesn't, there's no explanation as to why.
Ghosts?
So but she's the first one who's like, no,
Yeah.
there's no ghosts.
I know, yeah.
So it's like, this doesn't make any sense. I mean, not that I'm looking for sense, but it doesn't make any sense.
Well, we are introduced to Captain Celeste Rhodes.
Yeah.
Who has a little meeting with her crew before they set sail. And this crew is very small. It is a huge fucking ship.
Yeah.
We've watched many a cruise program, and there are a lot of staff on board. This one, not so much.
And let's not forget the fact that the Titanic has sunk twice in this cinematic universe.
Yes.
Like the original one and Titanic 2, they've already gone down. You think you'd have an extra crew, extra safety precautions.
Yes.
Or better yet, you wouldn't just do. You just wouldn't do this.
You wouldn't do the same.
You just wouldn't have a Titanic 3.
Yeah. One thing that they do have that the others didn't is a female captain.
That's
which
true.
I'm living for.
Yeah, obviously.
So if the film does one thing right,
it's
having that representation.
Should have been played by Jane McDonald.
But Celeste Rhodes is a black woman.
Yeah.
As the captain of a ship.
Yeah.
And I'm living for it. And she's on the poster. And if the film does one thing right, it's some good representation.
But if we do get a UK version, can we get Jane McDonald, please?
Yes, that would. Yeah. I don't think we will.
I mean, the Titanic exploitation cinematic universe.
Apparently, it's still going strong. No, it only happens every 10 years.
Every 10 years, that's true. So Parker, who's part of the crew, jokes about the Titanic having a death curse, and Captain Rhodes is like, "You better shut the fuck up."
Yeah, she puts him in his place, as she should.
Then the ship sets sail, and everyone celebrates in slow motion as
right. She puts him in his place. He's actually right.
Is.
Oh shit.
The ship sets sail, and everyone celebrates in slow motion as lots of CGI people wave them on their way.
Oh, good lord. Oh.
Meanwhile, below deck, Idina, she zips herself out of someone's bag.
She does.
And starts wandering around. She takes an object out of the bag and holds it up in the air, but we don't see what it is just yet. She literally zips herself out of someone's bag.
She does.
Who has taken her on board?
She's not. Yeah. So it's never explained who takes her on board.
Are there no bag checks?
Or why she didn't just buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Like why didn't she?
How does she fit in the bag?
Buy a ticket.
It's a small bag. How does she fit in there?
Exactly. But also, it's revealed that she is the great-granddaughter of the captain of the original Titanic.
Have you not got his very interesting name?
Is it Edward?
Ed Smith.
Ed Smith.
Edward Smith.
Edward Smith. Excuse me. I do, but it's later on. But I've just thought of a good point now.
Okay.
So she is the great-granddaughter of Edward Smith.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? This is Titanic 3.
Yeah.
And she's felt the need to sneak on board.
Yeah.
If she couldn't afford a ticket, why didn't she just say, I'm the great-granddaughter, let me on?
Yeah.
Like, just as a little publicity stunt and just, I don't know why she felt the need to zip herself in a bag. And it's, again, never explained who brought her on board or why she's just below deck. And also why below deck on what I'm assuming is, a state-of-the-art ship.
Yeah.
Why is it so dark all the time? Why are there no lights below deck? Like, people are going to have to see if all this crap's there.
I mean, just really think about it. So she took her bag. If no one smuggled her on, which clearly no one did.
No, seemingly not.
If she smuggled herself on, then she took a bag to where the bagging area is for this ship. She climbed inside of it, zipped it up herself, and a bagman threw her on.
Yeah, essentially. Yeah.
The filmmakers, when she's coming out of the bag, they were like, "Oh, this is fucking creepy. This is a great show." It looks so stupid.
It does.
It is so funny.
But she does look like a red-headed Heather Graham.
She does.
So I'm living for that.
Mia Stone gives her viewers the history of the Titanic on a live stream.
Yeah, so they're telling their followers about the book on called The Sinking of the Titan that was released before the sinking of the actual Titanic. As if people haven't heard that so many times.
As if their followers would give a shit.
Like these conspiracy theories about Titanic and this novel. They then decide to go and say hi to people, which is essentially Mia shouting, "Hi, people!"
she is absolutely giving Real Housewives energy.
The whole idea is this is because it's the 2020s. You have to have this parody of influencers.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm assuming the actress, you know, with all due respect, is older than Gen Z. She's probably around maybe our age.
Yeah.
If she was in 90210, you know, which I remember, you know, from a while ago. So I don't know who she's parodying.
Yeah.
Is it Gen Z or is it just influencers?
I think it's just influencers,
Okay.
but she is giving Real Housewives.
It is, yeah.
Giving actually no, I was gonna say she's giving Whitney, but that's
She's giving a little Whitney Rose. If Whitney Rose was more annoying.
Yeah.
If Whitney Rose was like an influencer. Because
Yeah.
she's not really an influencer, is she?
No. I mean, definitely not after what happened to her husband. Julie gives everyone a warm and exciting welcome to Titanic 3, telling them that they have items on board from the original ship before informing them that they'll be doing 30 seconds of silence for the people who died later on. 30 seconds!
30 seconds, not even a whole minute.
30 seconds! And they stick to it.
They
it's
do.
30
yeah,
seconds.
30 seconds. It's her name's Julie, did you say?
Julie, yeah.
I never got her name actually.
She's a bit of a queen. She's just really giving that sort of, "Hi, I'm your cruise buddy," or whatever they are. The people who look after people on cruises.
She's a little bit, but she's also giving side character that's going to get killed later on, and no one's going to care about.
Idina starts caressing the items from the original
The funniest
ship.
thing, excuse me, sorry. The funniest thing that she says is that, well, we know some of you are influencers, so please share with all your followers.
2 people.
Which apparently they are the only influencers on board.
Uh-huh.
This is the emptiest ship, by the way.
Idina starts caressing all the items from the original ship and gets a telling off from Professor Al Cochran and his awful Irish accent.
Yeah, including violin. So this violin's going to come back loads. But that's the one she starts messing about with. Idina is not a fan of Professor Hal Cochran. And after getting told off, as Gary said, for
being a third-class staffer.
Third-class staffer, which I'm assuming is she dressed up as one of the staff members?
No, she's just in a normal clothes.
Then what's a third-class staffer then? What does that even mean? She reminds the professor about ancient Egyptians who cursed the belongings that they were buried with.
Yeah.
So yeah, there you go. We get some more influencer shit, including Mia and Jackson bumping into the professor, and also whoever he is, Brian Andrews, security, Navy SEAL, whoever, Brian Andrews, and yeah, the professor shows Mr. Wicks, a very wealthy man, as he likes to tell people. I don't know why I found that so funny. He's like, "Oh, this is a beautiful ring, and I'm a very wealthy man." He shows him the ring of the Titanic's captain, Mr. Edward Smith.
Excuse me.
Oh yeah, that's been preserved beautifully. But the professor won't sell because it's so important to his life and the captain's, which makes no sense.
No.
Because a big plot point is the fact that the professor is trying to sell everything that he has. And he's actively trying, and he's, spoiler alert, in cahoots with Brian Andrews.
Yeah.
To sell all this stuff so he can get some money, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
And he can profit off the sinking of the Titanic, okay?
Yeah.
Remember that. So why is he telling a very wealthy man, Mr. Wicks, that he won't sell the ring of the Titanic's captain. He'll sell all the other shit, but he won't sell that one. Again, that doesn't come back.
It doesn't come back. It makes no sense. And the whole time that Professor Cochrane's on there, he's just constantly acting like he's on fucking...
You're a stupid.
He's just...
Professor Cochrane, you're a dick.
He's just there acting like he's on fucking Skegness Market, flogging second-hand jewellery the whole time.
Bargain loving Brits on the Titanic.
Idina makes out with a book.
Adina, I keep thinking you're going to say Adina Menzel.
she's having a snog with a book, isn't she? She's and then she's yeah, pretty much. It's on her mouth.
It's true. I'm sorry. I'm just thinking of the wickedly talented.
And she starts talking shit whilst Captain Rhodes is getting ready for the Titanic Free Gala, putting on another pantsuit and talking to her fiance about their upcoming wedding.
Yeah, via FaceTime, and that doesn't come back either. The fiance doesn't come back. My question is, why are there balloons everywhere? Like, they celebrate, but it's proper like cheapo birthday party balloons just like flopped on the floor, and that's it. That's all the decorations for this big party. And why are they like, unless I'm mistaken, are they just orange and black? Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, no, it's very hard.
No one's going to correct me anyway. Do not watch this film. You should not watch this film. So don't be coming and correcting me, because you're your own worst enemy if you watch this after listening to this podcast episode.
The Stones go below deck to record a live stream, and they stumble upon Idina doing witchcraft with her book. So they film her, naturally, you know, influences and all.
Yeah.
She then cuts her hand and bleeds onto a picture of the original ship before rubbing blood all over herself. And Mia's like, I'm getting a really bad vibe.
My issue is Jackson saying, oh, we're going somewhere where no man has been before.
Yeah, they have.
Yeah, you have. You have to fucking build the boat, for fuck's sake.
That's where all the bags were.
Like, how has nobody been there before? Like, and also, why are there not more staff around?
Yeah.
Like, Idina, she's doing this for a very long time.
Oh, yeah.
And there's no staff whatsoever going back and forth in any of this giant area below deck. It's ridiculous.
Nancy joins them and starts watching the ritual. And Idina's like, I call on you, you spirits, rise. And then the Stones and Nancy are like, yeah, we're fucking going.
Yeah.
No thanks. Nancy geeks out over the couple and tells them she doesn't even like ships and offers to let them use her phone. Never happens.
No.
They run into Cochrane and he looks at Nancy, which is so rude. And by the way, Nancy is serving a look.
Yeah, so
way more than the film deserves.
She's what we forgot to mention earlier on. I don't know why. It's a highlight of the film. Captain Rhodes says we've got cosplayers on board. When she's reciting everyone that's come on board and how exciting everything is, she does say,
your favourite dead person from the Titanic.
She does say cosplayers, and Nancy is cosplaying as Kathy Bates. I don't know. I don't. Does it count as cosplaying if they were real people?
That's what I mean. Like, she's dressing as a favourite person who died on the Titanic.
Because, like, cosplaying is...
They don't mention the James Cameron film, by the way.
No.
In none of these Titanic exploitation. They're probably not allowed to.
Yeah.
But it's never like, oh, well, they released the film. You know, like they did in that shit Amityville film. Where, yeah. Nothing like that. So, as far as we're aware, she's cosplaying as a dead person from the Titanic.
Yeah. Which is really just dressing up in period clothing.
Which is great, because she looks amazing.
She does. But yeah, I don't understand the cosplaying aspect. Unless they're cosplayers for Titanic 2, if that was the film. It was a Bruce Davidson was in there, cosplaying as him.
Well, Cochrane looks down on Nancy and he's like, what is this? I'm like, oh my god, that's so rude. And Nancy's like, you're just jelly. They have over 12 million followers on Instagram.
Yeah, just say that.
And then she walks away. I was like, I'm not sure how she's reacting to this, because he was talking about you first of all.
Yeah.
You're defending them, and then you just walk away. Like,
He sends them. He sends Nancy away, basically.
Yeah.
Amir scolds the professor for benefiting from the death of the passengers, and he reminds them that they're videoing everything and, live streaming, and it's all monetized, and that's their income, so therefore they're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Which is true.
Which is also what this film's doing. And he also feels Mia up as well. He's got to think he keeps flirting with Mia.
Well, yeah, I don't know why. Again, is he meant to be sympathetic by the end as well? But he touches it inappropriately, and Mia and Jackson, quite rightfully, tell him to fuck off.
Yeah.
Why are you touching someone without permission?
Julie gives a speech about the original disaster and asks everyone to take part in a moment of silence. 30 seconds. Ideen is still doing her ritual. It finally seems to work all these hours later.
Yeah.
It goes on for so long.
It does go on for so long. So the idea is that they've reached their destination. So that this ritual can finish and they can have their 30-second silence, which is fine. Mia and Jackson are disrespectful during the 30 seconds. So they talk and they fanny around on their camera whilst this 30 seconds is going on.
Yeah.
So it's like, who the fuck are Mia and Jackson? Like, what are they respectful or are they disrespectful? Like, what is their purpose in this film? I really don't get it.
No.
What happens is they're the first to die, so we never find out what their purpose is in this film. But what are they trying to convey here? It's almost an interesting point. People benefiting from the deaths, real life deaths. It's a critique that's brought upon, true crime podcasts and all that stuff. So it is interesting, but it's mixed. It doesn't know what it wants to say, so it doesn't end up saying anything at all. And it's just like, we wasting my time, bitch.
Yeah. The memorial gala begins, and the ghost of Captain Edward Smith appears below deck before exchanging ghost powers with Ideen, who then
Is it Ideen or Idina?
Ideen. It's an E on the end.
Oh, is it really?
Yeah.
Do you know what? Fucking hell. I've written Adina this whole time, and in my head I've been like, oh, Idina Menzel, Adina. It is an A, hun.
Is it?
IMDb gave it an A.
Well, I got an E.
Oh shit.
Either way, who gives a shit?
Shows how much
who cares enough?
You could tell when we switched off. We're like, oh,
who cares about these characters to give a shit what we're calling them? Seriously.
I just in my head I've been at Idina Menzel, and I was like, oh no. That joke failed.
Idina, she calls him her great-grandfather. And that's the big twist moment.
The big reveal. The
Stones enjoy their iceberg cocktails.
So inappropriate. And she even
says that.
Said, oh, I'm having my iceberg. Oh, it's so inappropriate.
And they start hearing a ghost playing the violin, so they have a romantic dance to it.
They do.
The music gets louder to the point it makes Jackson disappear.
Yeah, did I blink and miss something?
No,
he's
he
just like,
disappeared.
boom, okay, bye, bitch.
Cochrane shows up and he finds Mia and he's like, oh, don't worry, we're in the middle of the Atlantic, so Jackson couldn't have gone far.
It's actually better than his, but still not great.
And yeah, so we're in the middle of the Atlantic. Jackson couldn't have gone far. I mean, he could have fell overboard.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. He could have fell overboard. Like, oh, he can't have gone far. Yes, he could have. He could have gone overboard and drowned. Or like froze because it's so cold. Like, you're an idiot.
But she's an idiot. She's like, oh, okay, go and give me a martini.
Yeah.
And then she starts recording again. And then she comes face to face with the violin ghost, who kills her by playing a loud noise.
It's confusing how the ghosts kill people in this film. It's such a mixed bag. Yeah, essentially, loud noise kills her and she collapses and no blood, no nothing, and she's a goner. You know?
Yeah.
And that's it.
Janet Leigh.
Yeah, we thought, old Mia Stone.
On the poster.
Influence on the poster, probably the most famous actress in the film.
Now she's gone. Meanwhile, Cochrane is doing deals with necklaces to passengers. Okay, 2 for a fiver, 2 for a fiver, 3 for a tenner. Who wants your old Titanic merchandise necklaces?
Oh, he's trying to sell a necklace to an old lady, isn't he? Seemingly he's successful.
Yeah, he wants to sell it now.
Yeah.
For some reason.
No, the necklace. So it's the ring he didn't want to get rid of. This was the
ring didn't mean a thing.
The ring did mean a thing. That's why he wanted to keep it. That's the problem. Whoa. The professor... Oh, no. We've done that. Oh, fucking hell.
Yeah, 2 crew members find Mia's corpse.
They do, yes.
And Captain Rhodes is informed that the ship's radar is showing some sort of interference.
This is so cheap, by the way.
It is.
You can tell that it's just some sort of cheapo computer software that they've just put up and like a YouTube video from like 2005. It really looks really shit. But yeah, the radar's going crazy. The crew is concerned. They fetch Captain Rhodes from the party where a slow dance is taking place with no music. Like, come on, a little bit of music in the background, for fuck's sake. What are people dancing to? Why is there a slow dance going on in complete silence? Yes, you low budget, I get it. But this shit, it's fucking annoying. Play a little music. If someone said play some fucking classical music, you don't even have to pay any fucker.
They've played enough of it already.
Yeah, you don't have to pay anyone. Just play fucking Mozart in the background. He's long gone. You don't care. Copyright. Who cares? Shit.
Captain Rhodes is taken to Mia's corpse and orders Brian to check the live stream that she was doing with Jackson. Whilst
very modern.
A ghost below deck blows off a random worker's head just by looking at him.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
This character we've never seen before. It is never mentioned again.
And really great special effects. Like really imaginative practical effects. Up there with Tom Savini's best work.
Yeah.
Oh no, shit. It's CGI. Crap.
The crew watch the live stream and realise Jackson just disappears. They just stand around pointed out things that happened on video. It's like, well, there's Cochrane. Yeah, he's still there. Oh, what's Cochrane doing? Oh, okay, Cochrane's there. So Cochrane's talking to her. Okay, so Cochrane left. So then Mia picks up the camera. Yeah, we can fucking see it!
Yeah. So they believe that the professor has killed Mia. And the acting is abysmal during this. It really is bad. I'm sorry. I understand, it's difficult when the script ain't the best. But the struggle is really real in this. And this is the moment where Gary revealed to me, no spoiler, but it may win an award later, when he revealed to me that this was an Irish accent from the professor. Because I had no fucking idea beforehand. Genuinely, my mouth was wide open. I was like, are you serious? This is an Irish accent. Crazy.
Yeah, it's something. I've never heard an Irish accent like this before.
But there are moments, after you told me, I kind of noticed it a little more. But if I had been oblivious, I would never have known. Yeah. I don't think I would ever have known.
Well, Captain...
I know, I feel really bad because I can't do accents.
Okay, no,
but I'm not being paid. Actor. I'm not being paid to do it. If you can't do it, don't do it.
Captain Rhodes and Brian go to question Cochrane about the video.
Yes.
Whilst he's showing off more Titanic jewellery merchandise to Julie. And Captain Rhodes seems really shocked that Julie's like talking to her. She's like, Julie! Don't buy that cheap shit. They inform him that Mia's dead and show him that they have security footage of an argument he had with a couple earlier.
Okay. If this is... I don't know. I'm not up on my CCTV knowledge. But since when has CCTV been number one at waist height? Like behind a bush. And number two with audio.
I know, yeah.
Like... No, this is a spy cam. This isn't CCTV. This isn't security. This is a spy cam through a bush, watching them talk. Very strange.
They tell them all about it, and the ship begins moving again, and Idina's still doing her witchcraft thing below deck. She's back to her usual position again, doing it again.
She's trying her best. Bless her.
Captain Rhodes goes off to investigate, and it's revealed that Brian and Cochrane are working together to do something.
Yeah, I don't know how this works. So, seemingly, Brian's intel on the guests, because earlier on he sort of said, it's my job to know everything about the guests for security, this, that, and the other, because he knew something about Mia and Jackson that maybe he shouldn't have known. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. Who cares? Seemingly, what he's doing is shepherding the richest passengers to Professor Cochrane. Yeah. So that he could sell his goods to them. Mm-hmm. What? Yeah. I mean, whatever his name was earlier, he was going around telling everyone he's a very rich man.
Yeah, Mr. Wicks.
Mr. Wicks. Like, what time is it? Time is I'm a very rich bitch. Yeah. That's what he was saying. Uh-huh. So why does he need this guy to bring... Like, we haven't even seen that happen. Uh-huh. He's been with Captain Rhodes the whole time. And he's just been going around talking to random older people who probably have money from lands that they've stolen. Well, Brian is not happy, and he wants 15% now instead of 10%. Yeah. Of the money. Of what? What money? He hasn't fucking sold anything yet. And he says to him, why are you selling all this stuff? Are you in debt? Do you have a woman on the side? It's like, okay, well, it isn't a pay-per-view subscription to have a fucking wife. The insinuation that women take all your money. Is it 2022? You're fucking Captain Rhodes doing her best for women's empowerment. Yeah. And they're setting it back, saying, oh, you must need all this money for a woman. Fuck off. Yeah. The crew inform Captain Rhodes that something has managed to override the system, and now they're heading towards icebergs. Bit of deja vu. Captain Rhodes, I'm going back on deck. So Captain Rhodes goes back on deck. She bumps into Brian and she says, I'm going to the engine room. They go into the engine room. I had none of this down. I was like, bitch, I don't care. Amazing I ain't getting this down. The passenger who brought the necklace earlier on, she's feeling a little seasick. She's wearing the necklace, and a ghost shows up, makes it tighten on her neck, and kills her. I know. So sad. Well, she wanted a bit of cheap jewellery. Wow. Seemingly, it cost her more than she thought. The engine starts going out of control and blows up. And Captain Rhodes is like, don't worry, everyone. The engine blew up, but we still have power. Yeah. This is the moments where I'm like, okay, Captain Rhodes, I'm going to need a little more emotion from you. Everything's going to pot. You've got a dead body. Yeah. Your engine's just exploded. Some weird entity has taken control of your ship. I'm going to need just a little more emotion from you. The room where... Because obviously Cochrane has been locked up by this point. The room he's in starts leaking and the lights go out. A ghost appears, ties him up, and seemingly kills him off screen. Yeah, it just cuts away. Nancy shows Captain Rhodes a clip from Mia's live stream where a ghost appears and tells him that the ship is haunted because they're over the graves of 1,000 people. Yeah, everyone thinks she's full of shit, and she doesn't help her cause because she's unable to pause a video. Yeah. So she just keeps on scrolling back and going, look, playing the video and going back and go, look. No, just pause. Yeah. Just pause and we'll see the ghost face. But also this, like, I mean, Captain Rhodes has literally seen a dead body and the engine has literally blown up. She hasn't got control of her ship and she's still like, get the fuck out of here. It ain't no ghost. It ain't no ghost. There has to be a logical explanation. Instead, she tells Brian to let Cochrane out. It's like, the guy that's wanted for murder. Okay, let him out. Cochrane is somehow still alive and demands to talk to the captain.
but there's all a rational explanation for this.
Yeah, he's fuming and whatever, blah blah blah. He then goes off with Brian and they find Adina, who informs them that the professor is the killer because he is the one desecrating her great-grandfather's grave and the graves of the others who perished 110 years ago. She tells the professor that his curse is to watch everyone else die around him before he dies. So that's why she kept him alive. That's why he's been kept alive. Because his curse is to witness these deaths.
Yeah.
Number one, he ain't witnessed a single fucking death so far.
No.
And number two, everyone who's died, he didn't even know or didn't even like.
Yeah.
So what is this fucking curse? He ain't cursed at all.
No.
And also, if his curse is to be accused of these murders, well, he's just been let out his cell anyway.
Yeah.
So this bit, he ain't been cursed. This bitch ain't been cursed.
No. But speaking of lackluster, speaking of people dying that he doesn't know, a crew member bumps into a ghost who gets killed with a jump scare.
Yes.
The ghost doesn't get killed. The
guy gets killed. He's random security, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, this film is definitely in the 2005 YouTube jump scare territory.
CGI ghost.
Where it's just goes towards the screen. Ooh! And that's it. Oh, it's giving me, what is that? Oh, it's like a car commercial where it's driving down the lane and then just comes out. No, it's that shit.
Well, at least the car commercial had the decency to do practical makeup.
Exactly. Yeah, that's very true.
Cochrane hides whilst this is happening and is seemingly chased by the ghost after. Brian and another crew member takes Idina to the room where they locked Cochrane up previously. She spills the tea and grasses up Brian to this other random crew member for his involvement with Cochrane.
Yes, so Brian pulls his gun out when a ghost appears.
Oh, it's Captain Smith. It's the main one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's the OG
really?
ghost.
Oh, he looks different. Oh.
He's had a shave, had his hair done.
Oh, is he really? Has he really?
No, he's still there.
Well, I swear he looked different. Anyway, Idina says, "What are you going to do? Shoot a ghost?" And so he tries to shoot a ghost. And the bullet ricochets and hits his colleague instead. Yep.
Captain Smith breathes onto Idina and it makes the power go out.
Yes.
The crew and the captain...
I'm assuming she gets his powers? Or
I don't know how the transferring of powers works in this film.
No.
Because seemingly ghosts can transfer powers to Idina.
Special ghost powers.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I've never read the ghost handbook, so who knows?
No. The crew and the captain get their phone torches out, and Captain Rhodes spots a spooky ghost that shows up for a quick jump scare.
Yeah.
Just for the trailer.
Yeah.
And I thought they were keeping it in the film anyway.
It's true.
Idina, you could say about...
Well, I was going to say the lights going out in the bridge.
Yeah.
And Captain Rose gets everyone to put their torches on their smartphones.
Yeah.
Like it's a concert.
That's very true. I didn't look at it like that.
It's just, and then I just like they're
hearing a slow song.
Hearing a slow song at a concert.
Idina uses her ghost powers to knock out Brian, but just leaves the crew member who was shot.
Yeah,
But again, Brian, he hasn't got to watch everyone die.
No,
because just kill him.
He's hiding. He's just, he ain't there.
Cochrane pulls out all of his bargain Titanic jewellery into his suitcase and he finds a naked ghost in his shower.
Oh.
Don't bring The Shining into this.
It's so cheap. Number one, his shower's huge by the looks of it.
But even her, she hasn't...
like a gym shower.
She hasn't even got any ghost effects and she still looks CGI.
Yeah. And obviously, this is your TNA for the film. She's showering in the cabin and then lunges towards him again, like a shit YouTube video. Props to her though. After 110 years, she got the shower working.
She did.
We've all been there, a new place, particularly hotels or a cruise ship we don't recognise. So props to her for getting the shower working.
Good on her.
Yeah.
Good
Was
for
it
you, girl.
110 years ago? Would they even have like
No.
that kind
Not
of electric
walk-in shower.
Yeah, might not have had. So good for her. Could be a bit fiddly sometimes.
Brian is awake again and tells the crew members that the crew member, the one he shot, that he's going to get some help. This crew member is a fucking idiot because then he decides he's going to leave the room anyways.
Yeah.
So he starts praying and is killed by an old lady ghost who breathes on him.
Yeah. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. It was just CGI fog, I suppose, or CGI smoke that just, or like dry ice or some shit like that, just wraps around his throat and he's dead. Okay.
Idina enters the control room and starts strangling everyone with her ghost powers. And
she goes full carry mode.
She does,
doesn't she?
She does.
She's got a greasy hair now as well for some reason. Don't know why ghost powers make your hair look greasy, but anyway.
Well, Captain Rose is fuming about this, and she just gives her a telling off. She's like, "You're not the captain of this ship, so why don't you back the fuck down, get out of your big girl boots, and let me carry on doing my fucking job."
Yeah.
But
it doesn't work.
It doesn't work. She actually says to her, she gives her a bit of lip. She's like, "Are you afraid that in 100 years people will be sailing over your grave, Captain?" A bit of a weak read.
A little bit. It is a little bit, but she is in a position of power because the captain's telling her, "You're the only one that can stop this."
Yeah.
To which she replies, "I know," and then slits her own throat.
Yeah.
And kills herself. So she wasn't a ghost.
No.
She just had ghost powers.
Yeah.
Anyway,
the lore of this film is absolutely bizarre.
My question is,
there's no rules.
Why did she have to slit her own throat before her plan was over? So saying like Captain Rhodes is telling her, "You're the only one that can stop this," as in you're the only one that can stop your great grandfather, the ghost, from making this cruise ship go into a iceberg. Okay, but she doesn't want to do that. No, and she's never, this is what she wanted from the get-go. She's done this. Yes, she can stop it. Why would she not? Why did she kill herself before it actually happens? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like, well, just kill yourself. Why would you do that? Yeah. Go down with the ship.
And literally, she could have been a part of history because just as she does it, we crash into the iceberg.
Yes. So it happens. Yeah. So she didn't actually see it come to fruition. No. It's so stupid. Like, why would she do that?
Julie tries calming everyone down. It's like, it's just a drill. Like, you just crash into an iceberg. You're not falling anymore.
Why are you lying, Julie?
Captain Rhodes calls for help, but they're getting no signal, and Cochrane admits it's all his fault and tells them that they need to return the belongings from the original Titanic to the deep. Yeah. He kept the receipt and everything. He was going to return them.
He was. Brian's not on his side.
No.
He tries to take the possessions, but is stopped by the ghost of Mia. Forget about her. Mia, who uses CGI fog or cobwebs or whatever the fuck that is to force him to kill himself with his gun. He apologizes to her and tells her that he's returning the jewels, which I'm a little confused.
I know,
by.
Yeah, it's like we're giving it back. We're giving it back. Hang on a minute, she doesn't care about that.
Why is she returning as a ghost anyway? She's nothing to do with the original sinking of the Titanic.
Yeah, so the law now takes a turn, and in this film, the rule is now, as soon as you die, you become a ghost. Because Brian immediately comes back as a ghost, gives Julie a staring match, and makes a boat drop on top of her.
Yes. So there's... I don't know why. You would never, ever get this in... I don't think... No, I don't think you would ever... I'm going out on a limb and saying this. I don't think you would ever get on an actual cruise ship a very heavy, old school style lifeboat hanging from a ceiling.
Of course not.
How dangerous is that? Yeah. Why would you ever have that on a cruise ship? Cruise ships they're going to sway and move, and this thing is going to sway and move with it. Yeah. Why would you ever have that? I mean, do you get chandeliers on cruise ships?
Yeah, it's the leak.
No, it wasn't a chandelier.
Cochrane helps. You'll only get that if you take our advice from earlier in the episode and watch the J. McDonald on the Titanic video.
Watch the J. McDonald on the Titanic YouTube video and you'll get the leak reference.
Cochrane helps people onto the lifeboats before he comes face to face with Captain Smith. The CGI lifeboat just breaks and falls into the water.
It does.
And the ship sinks, like really anticlimactically. Like it just sinks.
Yeah. So poor Nancy dies in that lifeboat, don't she?
Cochrane is seemingly the only survivor and is shiver on the boat when Captain Rhodes appears from underwater. He helps her onto the boat and has a laugh about how it's ironic that he survived even though it was all his fault. Isn't it ironic?
One thing, just going back slightly, when people are getting into the lifeboats, Captain Rhodes has a slow-mo run across the deck. And there's a lot of dry ice happening and random lights. Mm-hmm. It was giving me like a really cheap Ghost Train sort of vibe. Or like she was doing Passage del Terra, or like a really cheap one. And she's just slow-mo running like, oh. But yeah, he thinks it's ironic that he caused all this and he's the only one that survived. One thing with Captain Rhodes is that when she climbs into the boat, bone dry. Bone dry. She's pretending to shiver and all that shit, but she is bone dry. And then when you cut to her afterwards, her outfit is wet. Nothing else. I mean, you wouldn't want to get the hair wet. No. At all. Unless they were paying you extra and just fucking film. But yeah, the outfit is wet and Cochrane dies.
He does, but before he dies, she's like, "Did you help everyone onto the lifeboat?"
Oh yeah.
Like, what does that matter now? Like they're all fucking gone.
No, because she says she asked him to help people onto the lifeboats. Yeah, and he does, and we see it. And she says because he did do that, he squared up with God.
I didn't hear that.
So he's going to die because of, his selfishness, but he squared up with God because he was helping people onto the lifeboats. So then...
People that he put in danger.
That he put into danger. Then he dies, and Captain Rhodes cries. Yeah. And mourns his death. Despite not really knowing him, him being the cause of all of this, and her not having cried when she witnessed the death of many colleagues, and not crying at the idea that, this is the end. This is, a terrible situation. But she cries that this dickhead has just died.
But then he immediately, with the new rules of the film, immediately turns into a ghost and moves towards her with a jump scare noise, and that's it.
And that's the end of the
Titanic
film.
666.
Seemingly, everybody dies.
Yeah.
That's it.
Did not expect that. So, bravo on being unpredictable.
Is it unpredictable, or did you just stop caring?
No, it's just a mess. I mean, it's unpredictable because the lore in the film makes no sense.
It makes no sense at all.
But yeah, that's Titanic 666.
Yeah.
The worst Titan exploitation film we've seen so far.
Yeah, it really... I think my problem with it is that the others that we've seen are just out and out bad. Yeah. But there is a campness to them and a trash to piece vibe. And, you get what you want out of these sort of films. There was nothing of the sort in this. And I did. There were moments that it could have been a trash to piece. And there were camp moments. But all in all, it was a little dull, if I'm being honest. I did think it was just a bit boring.
Yeah. Well, we're still got to give it awards.
We do, yes.
Starting with Biggest Queen, which has got to go to Captain Rhodes.
I did go with Captain Rhodes.
Her odd bit of crying at the end.
Yeah, I think just for being a female captain of the ship. You know, I was living for that.
Biggest gasp, I have the recreation of the original disaster within the opening seconds.
I went with when Gary told me the professor's accent was supposed to be Irish. I did gasp.
Best dialogue is obviously, "Oh my god, look at the ship."
Definitely. Oh my god, look at the ship.
And that's camp. It's got to go to Idina and her below deck witchcraft that goes on for hours.
That is camp. I actually went with the opening on a cheapo version of James Cameron's Titanic. That's camp. That's pretty camp.
That is camp.
That is pretty camp.
Ratings, I give it 1. Yes, that's it. Sorry, everyone. It is a 1. 1 piece of haunted original Titanic merchandise jewelry out of 10.
I went with, oh my god, look at this, 1 out of 10.
Masterpiece, trash or basic. It's trash.
Trash.
It's available on video on demand if you want to lose your mind and rent it. How
much was it to rent?
£3.50. We had a voucher from Sky for some reason, so thankfully got a penny left on that voucher now.
I think Gary's been doing some online, what are they called? What are they called when you fill them in?
Forms. Feedback forms.
With Sky and got
which is good customers.
£3.50 voucher.
If you enjoyed this, I recommend checking out Ghost Ship.
Yes, I recommend checking out Titanic 2 because it's pretty much the same thing.
Going back and watch the series in reverse for some reason.
Well, I mean, you don't have to. Just don't watch anything ever again. Just in case you get a film like this.
We are Horror Cult Trash over on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok, and Horror Cult Trash on Twitter. I'm dead at Gaz92 on Letterboxd, Gazmo205 on Instagram, and GazChris92 on Twitter.
I'm Chris Barker823 on Instagram and Letterboxd.
Give us a rate, review, subscribe on iTunes, a like and follow on everything else. Also, our Horror Festival Gasp is now accepting submissions, so if you are a filmmaker and would like to submit your work, and you're a minority filmmaker at that, then we are Gasp Horror Festival across social media and on Film Freeway. Go check us out.
Yeah, gonna be some good ones.
Yeah.
I don't. Absolutely. No, I said too much.
Next week we are back with a double bill episode, and it is a Betty Davis at Hammer double bill, where we'll be discussing The Nanny and The Anniversary. The Queen. I cannot wait. Yeah. Oh, very topical with Hammer's new owner. Yeah. Spice. Yeah. Yeah, Betty Davis is involved. Yeah, no, so excited. What a queen. One of my favourite actresses. It's the part of her career I haven't seen yet. And yeah, it's going to be marvellous. I can just feel it. We'll be back same time, same place next week. Bye.